and 3 and 2 and 1. What's up, George? What's going on in the House of Craze tonight?
In the House of Craze tonight, we have Mr. Kurt Zauer, and he's going to be talking to us about Spectress Sabanion. Sabanion. I'm giving it the French twist. Sabanion. Yes, we're going to be talking to him. Plus, we're going to be talking about printing presses and customer service. What's up with that? So, yeah, that's coming up in just a few minutes. So, welcome back, everyone.
Let's get it.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Catch the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the dream of Medina and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your mans, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the Craze. If you are an independent, catch the Craze. Making moves on your own, catch the Craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the Craze. Join the movement, catch the Craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. Yeah, you want to do it. Catch the Craze. All right, welcome to Catch the Craze podcast. I'm your host with the most, Sam, the Crazy Man, Farrah, and I am with
George, the Dreamer Medina. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of Catch the Craze. It is Tuesday, May 21st, and we are back. It's been a minute, but we are back, and we are here with another live show. What up, dog? Oh, there he is. Lou, what's going on? Yeah, we're back. Gilbert, what up, my brother? Mike, everybody's in the house. Everybody's made it back.
It's a party.
Yeah. We've been gone for a little bit, but here we are. We are back. We are back with another guest. We're back with another topic, and we are going to be letting you guys know what we're going to be doing in the next few months, which next month we will be reuniting with Mr. Sam Vera and the fellas.
And it feels so good.
It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. So if you haven't done so yet, subscribe. If you're in the chat and you haven't done so yet, hit that like button. Give us a like, comment, show the love, spread the love. If you want to spread, if you want to share, share the show. Share it. If you want to spread it around. Spread it around. Anyway, Sam, how are you, sir? How you been?
Oh man, it's been crazy, bro. It's been crazy. Yeah, how I been? Yeah, I mean it's I survived a tornado. I had some torrential downpour. I had some bad events because the turnout was less than stellar. And I'm getting ready for Comic Palooza this weekend. It's a 3-day show.
Texas getting hit, bro.
Now we're on a tornado warning again. Damn. I'm like, yo, slow down, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's on the watch, and we got an alert saying thunderstorms, heavy thunderstorms and rain, potential threats of tornado. I'm like, come on. Because like 1 minute it's sunny, the next minute it's like pfft. So I don't know if you've seen the vlog on the Art of Samuel. My latest vlog is up and running right now. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, here's a reason why you should subscribe. Check it out.
That pic cracks me up.
Ghost, yeah, right? Kind of studly, right?
Wait. I mean, that looks like AI, bro. What's going on over here?
Backed it up. That
looks like AI. It looks like it was artificially, created. What's going on?
That was my girl on Pfizer, whatever that was, whatever that police is.
But do you still use that?
I used her for all my logos. I just use the same girl for all my logos. So go check out the latest vlog on the Art of Samuel, surviving a tornado, and what it's like to take an L. I took an L at that show, and it was frustrating.
Lou's awesome, bro. Lou's awesome. We love Lou. We love us some Lou.
Yo, he's what? Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
You are the best. You're the best.
Those unboxing. But yeah. So this weekend, what's going on? I'm heading over, gonna hanging out with my buddy Dan Price and Marco, who's a fantastic artist. We're going to Comic Palooza. I'm in booth number 2738.
Nice.
And I'm actually, my booth is right next to Marco's. So we're gonna be covering each other when we have to go get some snacks.
You always flash those things so fast, bro. We're trying to get the information. Let the people know where you're gonna be at.
What?
Boom, Texas. I'm trying to help you out. Friday through Sunday, May 24th to the 26th, booth 2738.
That's it.
There it is. Comic Palooza. Where does it? I know it's in Houston, but is it at like a convention center in Houston?
Yeah, it's at a convention center downtown Houston, where it got hit last week from the tornadoes, and high-rise buildings got their windows blown out. So I had to go and check. The convention center saying they're still on. The hotel saying all good. Yeah. So it's a 4-hour drive. So I hit the road Thursday morning at 10 a.m. I'll get there by 2 because setup is between 12 and 8 p.m. So I'll get there by 2, set up my booth. Then if Dan and Marco are there, then we'll just go and grab something to eat, shoot the breeze, and then head back in the morning. And hopefully it's a better 3 days than it was, the 2 shows that I had this past 2 weeks ago.
Hey, you've had some rough time. Well, it's gonna happen, right? Like when people do shows, not every show is gonna be a hit.
Not every show is gonna be a hit. And it was crazy because last year this show was a hit for me. Yeah. This year, the storm put dampers on everything, and also this year nobody knew about it. Sam, what is this? Sam,
leave the art up for more than a second because it's worthy. That's what I'm saying, Lou. I'm trying to help him out. He's over here playing games with us. Oh my goodness.
So this year, it was probably 50% of the turnout from last year, and then nobody knew about it. Loved. Oh, thank you so much, the Duty's Blade. Thank you. I had fun doing that one. At the hotel, they didn't know about Target, which is down the road from the convention center. No one, they saw my name badge, the badge for the event, and they all were asking, "Oh, there's a Comic-Con?" Yeah, it's right down the road. It's only 2 minutes, not even a minute from here. No one knew about it, right? So where the difference is, Texoma, everybody knew about it, right? Yeah. The casino, the CVS, the hotel, everybody knew about it, right? So, so they did a poor job, and Dan Price took them to town. Dan Price went in. He went in on the promoter and saying this is unacceptable, and he was starting a coalition. He was like, "We gotta rise up," and I was like, "Leave better die." But
Palooza is good. Palooza, they've been. I signed up. Like, I got on the waiting list for the tables, and they're constantly updating people with what's going on, where to pick up badges. Because you can pick up your badge early or whatever. So they're telling you where to pick it up, tickets, people, it's still going on. Don't worry about it, even though the weather's this. So they're doing a good job, man. So hopefully Palooza is gonna be a good show.
Hopefully it's gonna be a good show. It looks like it's gonna be a good show. I'm excited about it. I got some really cool stuff for that event. I got some new stickers. I got this this Spawn sticker, Duty Spawn. Bam! Look how big that is. That's a 4-inch sticker, bro. I got
you got some huge stickers.
I got Duty as He-Man. I got Duty as Hellboy. Bang! Right? So I got some really cool stickers. I also have Duty as Wednesday. So there's gonna be some really cool stickers that I have there. I have some really cool prints there. So we'll see. Comics Wellspring. Oh, we're gonna talk about that. But we'll talk about them in a minute. But so getting ready for that, and then right after that, it's the month right after, it's a Superhero Comic-Con, and that's where you guys join, and that's gonna be in San Antonio, Texas. That's a 4-day show.
Yeah, Freeman Coliseum.
Yeah, and so that one's a huge event.
Yeah.
A 4-day event, a lot of celebrities. We're trying to reenact a photo from back in 2008 that we did with Ernie Hudson. So, the squad is going to try to get that photo again with Ernie Hudson. It's going to be dope.
Lou, you went to Comic Palooza? Nice.
Yeah.
The best show she's ever done. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. That's all. Is this your first time or your second time saying the Comic
First.
Palooza? Oh, okay.
first. I was on a waiting list 2 years prior. Yeah, they've been frustrating. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a minute. Yeah, I was on a waiting list too. Each year they contact me the week of and say we got a spot open if you want it. The week of, I said, "Yo, man, go fly a kite." And and
Well,
then
that's what they did. Yeah, that's what they did. They did that also when I was trying to get in.
Yeah, and then in July I will be at Texas Latino Comic Con. It's a 1-day show. I'm excited about that. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm probably gonna pass on Bell County Comic Con because they still haven't reached out. So, and they say they don't reach out to June, and that's only a short window for me to try to secure stuff. So I'm probably gonna just let August ride, take off August, and then in September it's Cowtown Comic Con, College Station Comic Con, and I think between September and October, and I also have Denton Comic Art Expo. So those are my last 3 shows of the year in the fall, and then I'm just gonna take the rest of the fall season off and just chill out and chillax and collect my thoughts for next year. But yeah, so that's what's going on in my neck of the woods, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I just came back from CradleCon in Long Island with my friend Jonathan Cyphex, who's going to be with us at Superhero Comic Con, and Omar Solis.
Yeah,
we were
man.
out there, we
Omar.
were chilling. You know, it's funny, man. When you go into these shows, right? You go when you go as a spectator, it's one thing. When you're behind that table, is a completely different experience. And so going out August is going to be hot. Oof.
Yes, caliente, al dente.
And so when you go out there to these shows, man, I had a great time as a vendor, but I mean, as a spectator, but watching the people behind the tables, man, I was like, oof, hopefully it picks up. Hopefully it picks up. I'm going to Buds on Sunday.
Yeah, man. Stop flooding around.
But yeah, man, no, we were there. And then next month, obviously we're gonna do your the convention where you're gonna be at, and that's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
But on June 12th, and I don't know if you got that stuff.
Is it Plastic City or the book signing? Which one?
The book signing.
Okay.
So the book signing. So on Wednesday, June 12th, from 6 to 8, the Collector Cave. It's a comic book store here in Yonkers at Ridge Hill. If you guys are local to the area, you know where Ridge Hill is. I'm going to be doing a book signing for Russ 5377, the 25th anniversary edition. So I'm going to be there with this bad boy. This came in.
That's nice.
Look at that. Look how shiny that.
Yeah, flip the pages, bro. Flip the pages.
Bro.
I'm playing around.
Oh yeah, okay. Está bien. I'm ready.
There you go.
Full color joint.
Yeah.
It's issues 1 through 6. Obviously, the complete run is in here. So that's going to be going on June 12th.
Yeah, the cover's fire.
Yeah, dude. Big shout out to Santiago.
You almost forgot his name. He's like,
yeah, I know. Santiago Baking. He's from Argentina, man. He did his thing. He actually did another piece for me that I'm going to be showing you guys in a few weeks. But he's a great dude. Really fast. You know what I mean? Like gets you at, it's a pleasure to work with. So follow him on social media. Check out the website. And also then the week after that, obviously we're going to be doing that. And then in July 20th, it's a 1-day show, Plastic City Comic Con. It's at the Hilton Doubletree Hotel in Leominster, Massachusetts, from 10 to 5, 1-day show. Admission is $10, and kids under 12 and under are free. Plus they have
is that Gorilla your character?
No.
Oh.
That's I guess that's the Plastic City Comic Con.
Oh, okay. Mascot.
Yeah, the mascot. Yeah. So big shout out to Keith Gleason, who's putting that together. It's a 1-day show. So if you're in Massachusetts, if you're in that area, stop by, check it out. It'll be my first convention that I'm actually vending this year. So that's going to be the first one. And then I'll be doing, what's that? That's in June. So July, I'll be out in at Wicked Comic Con. Then Baltimore, then New York Comic Con. And let's see what else we do in November and December. Because I'm trying to hit a convention every month, even if it's not as a vendor, just to check it out.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that so far. So yeah, man. That's what's been happening. So big shout out to everyone who has already picked up a copy of the book, Russ 5377. Big shout out to ASAP Imagination, Hades, and everybody over there. A good 1-day show is better. Yeah, I gotta see how it goes, Brandon. We'll see how it does. It's a pretty good convention. I've been there before, not as a vendor, but a spectator, and it was pretty packed for the 1 day. So yeah, sometimes those are good to do.
Yeah, the Texas Latino Comic Con is a 1-day show.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so
you got in, right? You're in that.
I got in. Yeah. So I don't know why I look frozen on the screen.
Yeah,
Do I
you're
look
frozen.
frozen on your end?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm frozen. What happened? What's happening? Okay.
What happened was.
I don't know. Oh, my computer's acting up, but you can still hear me, right?
Yeah,
There you
I
go.
see. Now
Stop
you're back.
acting up.
Now you're
What's
back.
wrong
Now
with
you're
you?
back. Now you're back.
Man, technology just can't keep up, bro. Yo, what's his name? Elon Musk, man. Hook me up. But
you know you can't keep up.
What?
With that printer you're using.
The printers can't keep up, bro. The printers. It's time to get your meds and talk about it.
Let's do it.
Talk about.
It's time for your medicine.
Printing presses and customer service. Yeah,
Talk to me, Sam. Talk to me, Sam.
Yo, they
Talk
suck.
to me.
So they suck. Yo, Comics Wellsprings, you suck. Yeah, bottom line, you suck. You suck. Green eggs and ham. I'm dropping you like a bad habit. I'm done with you. I'm done with your excuses. I'm done with your lack of customer service. I'm done with everything. I said, are you a printer or you a podcaster? Are you a printer or you're trying to do a Comic-Con? What are you doing? Focus on printing and getting the product to the people. You can't keep up. It's like, and then you have excuses, right? Every time you reach out, we're experiencing delays. All right, then give me a discount. We're experiencing delays. All right, waive my shipping fee. You know what? All right, throw in another 20 copies. Do something to show empathy. You suck, right? So there's me. I'm letting it out. I'm venting. I'm dropping you. I was with you for 4 years. I'm dropping you guys. I found another printer. I will share with you guys the results of that printer. But I found another printer. Really competitive prices. I've been using this printer for a lot of my prints and other stuff, and they offer actual printing comic book solutions.
Yeah,
so
I realize that there's more though. Yeah, that's the thing. You got to find it. I agree with Sam. It's a good price of quality, but such a headache to where I'd happily pay $1 more per unit.
Yeah. They screwed up my orders for Puerto Rico. They screwed up my orders for the Kickstarters. They screwed up my order.
They've been messing with you.
I ordered 2 months ago, bro. I still don't have it. 2 months ago. They say 14 days for production, for formatting, and 14 days production, and you get it. It's been 2 months. I didn't require a physical proof because it was a reorder, and you still can't get it to me. I was like, all you had to do is reprint what you had already in the pipeline, and you couldn't. And every time I reached out, they got snarky. Well, don't you see on our website it says we're experiencing delays? Oh, but you could do a Comic-Con? Oh, but you could try to do a podcast, right? I said, this is why you can't meet people's expectations. You think there's not going to be repercussions because of your lack of customer service and your inability to meet the demand? You don't think there's going to be repercussions? Watch. Because for me, from now on, anybody that listens to my show, I'm going to promote the other guy that I'm starting to use. I'm going to wait for to see the first quality. And if I'm happy with it, I'm going to share it with the world, because at this point, it's got to stop. It's got to stop. I mean, we're not Marvel and DC. This stuff costs us money, right? When we print, if we're complying with your policy about getting it to us, they want it 4 weeks out, and you can't deliver with your own timelines, your own damn timelines, then something's wrong and something's got to change. That's what I'm saying. Anyway.
So the chat's going. Tell them how you feel, Sam. Brandon says, I've used them since 2020 and issues with them is not a new thing. Almost all of my orders have had some sort of issue. Bombs dropping.
That's it.
So I've never had that 14-day shipping that they say. It's just a lie. From 2020, it's been that way for me.
Yeah.
Greco printing is what it started as way back when we were using them. When we were right after we left. And we became Mass Media Studios, we discovered them, right? We were like, oh, snap, look, a new printer. Because Kablam was the printer we were using, and Kablam was having issues where they were having delays also. You'd have to order books a month in advance with Kablam, right? Mm-hmm. They've since gotten a lot better with time, and the quality is good. So shout out to them. But Greco printing was what it was, and then it became Comics Wellsprings. I guess they expanded. And I remember one of our first orders, we didn't know the terminology between saddle stitching and whatever the other thing was, and they sent us the wrong books, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't their fault, it was our fault, but they did right by us. They sent us a whole new print job, bro. Didn't even charge us. The guy who owned it at the time was awesome. I think they've changed owners since. Yep. And with how big they've grown and how they're fulfilling everybody's Kickstarter and all that other stuff, I think, like you said, they forgot about the customer service part.
Yes.
Where if you're telling me that you're going to have this for me, if I send it to you 4 weeks in advance, you're going to have it for me. It's important for us indies to have these books on hand because already we have a bad stigma, right? The stigma is we never get stuff done on time.
Yeah.
Now the printer's screwing us into having our work in on time.
Yeah.
We have the books ready. You sent them out. I mean, what do you did? Like 30 books or something like that? Even a big print run.
Not even a big print. It was
It's
just
not even
graphic
a
novels.
big
That was
print
it.
run,
It was a
bro.
reorder.
Right. So yeah, and then to come back and say to you that, to say to you, hey, the website says we're having, wow.
Yes.
That is insane.
Not only that, then they said either way is being shipped out on Friday. Yeah, it hasn't been shipped out because I never got a shipping tracking number. Nothing, no email, nothing. So from this experience and print on demand, worth it? Are you offer? So that's one of the things I am considering because as I sell through, man. So one of the things that I'm considering is once I sell out of my consecutive issues like 2, 3, 4, and 5, I'm only going to print issue 1 and the graphic novel because it's too costly. As an independent, I can't print every single title. So I'm considering doing offset printing for issue 1, do about 1,000 copies of issue 1. So I have that in the pipeline, and the same thing with the graphic novel, and then have that for conventions. And that so you can either if you're new to the book and you just want to test it, you can get issue 1. Or you can buy the graphic novel. If you like it, you can get the graphic novel. So instead of having, and it takes up too much real estate at the conventions for me. So for me, variant covers, which I'll do for issue 1, and the graphic novel. So just trying to sell through my current existing inventory, and then I'll go from there. But it's extremely frustrating. Yeah. They don't understand that the customer comes first. They don't understand how to take care of the customer or to accept responsibility. They never accept the responsibility for the Puerto Rico debacle that they caused. They didn't ship it on time. They shipped it to the wrong place. All this crazy stuff. Put your suggestions in the suggested box, which is a trash. Oh yeah.
For me, offset printing, it's costly, man. What's up? But at least it's a lot of money. I don't know that I'm gonna go that route. I think to me, and we have a lot of people in the chat at this point. If you guys are still on, how many of you still like the physical issue number 1 being holding it in your hand versus that digital number 1? Because I think that for number 1s and for single issues, sometimes I think like, is it better just to do digital sales, where it's a digital download and then just print out the trade on demand? Because it's costly. It's costly, and it's hard to determine whether or not you're going to print out 1,000 copies of issue 2. You're not, right?
No, I'm not. I mean, that's not my. That's not in my.
Right? No, you wouldn't. Why would you? Right? Because you have issue number 1, and that issue you can sell for a while. It's 1,000 copies. You can sell for a while, but from time to time, there are those people that say, "Hey, do you have the second issue? Do you have the third issue? I'm a collector. I like to collect them. Do you have them?" And for that reason, you may still need to print on demand, because printing 1,000 issues of every single number that you have is gonna be impossible to where are you gonna keep that stuff? Where are you gonna keep it? So yeah, that's why it's so important to be able to rely on these on these smaller printers that promise print on demand. But when they take on too much stuff, they start falling, man. They start falling apart. I have an art library to maintain and update. Nice.
Yeah.
Friend of mine ordered mid-March with them to get 50 books for shows in early May and free comic book day. Books didn't come till 2 months later after his shows. Yeah. Even with him reaching out several times.
Yeah.
That's terrible, dude.
It is terrible. And so for me, so there's got to be consequences. I think what happens is when you're independent, you're desperate, right? And you want to save that buck, right? But at the same time, there's already enough stress of creating your own books, raising the money because most independents will have a full-time job, taking your hard-earned money and investing on a show that you're not even going to have the inventory to support that show. You're already stressed because you're trying to figure out, is this worth it? I'm spending my own money. I'm investing all this personal time where I can be spending with family and friends and enjoying life. And instead I'm committing, I'm grinding. And then you're at the mercy of an inept, irresponsible printing company And then now you add that stress to you because now you go to a show and you're trying to scramble. And if you're an artist, you can try to sell original art, right? But if you don't have inventory already, I'm just lucky that I had inventory. But if you don't have the inventory, you're screwed. And then that adds to the anxiety, that adds to the mental stress. Who needs that in their life? So it's like, for me, it's like, I'm done with you. It's time to move on.
Yeah, mix them, kablam, Morris Publishing. Pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want this happening, you know, where people just start, I can't do it. I can't mess with them, you know. But dude, it's been rough. It's been rough. Hopefully you get your books and you know, and keep us posted on how they're looking on from the other printer.
Yeah. Once I'll do an unveiling when I get it, and then I'll show the quality, and I'll share with everybody. But I've been using this printer for everything else but comics for years. And I've used them for my prints and for my trading cards and my bookmarks and all that stuff. And then I reached out and they offer comic book printing services. Like, oh, okay, cool. So, and it's a really good price. So I was like, all right, cool.
You just got to see how they come, like what the quality is like when they come in.
Yep. But yeah. So again, if you're in the, you're not dependent on one printer. Do your homework. Go out there. There are the competitors. Don't allow yourself to get taken advantage of. Do your due diligence. But with that said, we're gonna bring in our guest, and we'll do that in the news intro for our guest right now. What's up? Welcome to the Craze.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, Kurt? How you doing, man?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. Listen, I butchered the name of your book, so please tell us what the name of the book is.
It's called Spectress Sabanion. Looking at it now, it's too much. It's a big word salad. I probably should have just called it Spectress and left it at that. But you know, whatever. I gotta say it to everybody that walks up to my table. So
there you go. There you go, man. There you go.
But don't worry about it, man. You and everybody else.
Well, listen, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. Introduce yourself to the audience. Let us know who is Kurt Zauer.
Wow, thanks. I'm Kurt Zauer. I have my own I'm a one-man show. I have a publishing company called KG Comics. And right now I have two titles, Spectress and Sabanion, which is a supernatural horror thriller. And I have a spin-off to that series called Ruxy Vampire, which is a bit lighter, a bit sexier. But my main title is Spectress and Sabanion. I'm working on the 5th issue of that right now.
Good for you, man. Good for you. Now you say you do it all. So do you do the art, the writing, the coloring, the lettering? Like, do you do it?
Oh, no, I guess no. So in that way, no, I'm not a one-man show. I write the story, my concept, my scripts, and then I hire artists to bring it to life for me. So yeah, it'd be much cheaper if I could draw and do all that stuff.
It'd be so much cheaper, man. It'd
be
so much cheaper. Do you now let's go back to when you were a kid, Kurt. Like, were you always into comics, or is this something that grew out of the necessity to put your stories out because comics is the way to maybe do that? It's maybe you thought maybe it was a little cheaper to do it that way also, which we find out it's not. But were you always into comics as a kid?
It's funny. In high school, I was at that time, you know, 80s, late 80s. It was Chris Claremont's X-Men was kind of the biggest thing I was into. You know, at that time, it was Mutant Massacre and Inferno were the big events. I was into a little bit of Spider-Man and Captain America at that time. And then I kind of fell out of it. I went to school. I did a bunch of other things. I went into the military for a while. And then about, you know, in the late 20 teens, about 2015, I've always been a gamer. I play D&D. I play a fantastic hero game called Mutants and Masterminds. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that.
No, I've never heard of that. No.
But if you want to play a fun superhero game, Mutants and Masterminds is the way to go. Nice. So you know, I've had all these characters and just had a great time, and some of my friends were poking me, go for it, man. Make a comic. So I did a lot of research and found an artist with Sajad Shah. I did a black and white 10-page comic with him, 12 pages, and I've been doing it a little bit ever since then. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Do you remember the first story, I guess, that you wrote as a kid that you thought could, you would want to put it out as, say, a comic?
Oh, I don't know. I really liked like monsters and James Bond, and
nice.
I think I was really into too much violent stuff when I was a kid. But I always knew I loved stories,
right.
and just for me writing it, I thought about writing a novel. That seems like too much work.
That's a lot, dude. That's a lot.
Yeah. So just comics are so much more fun, and I like the visual aspect, and so yeah, I got into the whole comic thing.
Did you ever have aspirations to work for Marvel or DC as you read those comics, or not?
No, not really. Not really. It was just something I enjoyed. Yeah. Maybe someday we'll see. Maybe they'll throw something my way. I'm not counting on it, but
do you still collect?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've been I've always been an X-Man guy. There's just so many X titles right now. I'm a little behind.
There's so much, dude.
The whole Krakoa thing. I liked it. A lot of people didn't, but I thought it was a cool idea. How they're kind of tearing that down and bringing it into the next stage. I really like Ben Percy, the guy who's written Wolverine. I think he's great stuff with Wolverine, and his Ghost Rider is fantastic too. But really, my go-to, what do they call it? The parking lot comics right now are I Heart Skull Crusher.
Skull Crusher.
It's a Boom Studios book. It's really very light and fun, and just it's the main character has this like endless enthusiasm for this paintball game in kind of this post-apocalyptic future. So it's called I Heart Skull Crusher. And then there's this other really creepy thing kind of on the opposite end called the Principles of Necromancy, which is really kind of my alley. I kind of like the creepy stuff. It's just amazing. It's the art is really disturbing and well done.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. That I guess that's what keeps you kind of motivated and wanting to create your own stuff, is reading some of that stuff. Because that happens to me sometimes. You read something that's so good and you're like, I got to do that. I got to do something.
It's funny you mentioned that. What really did it for me was Southern Bastards. Years ago, I'd heard about it so much, and then I picked up a few. There were already a bunch of issues out. I picked up a bunch of the trades, and I read those. I was like, wow, if you can do this with comics, you can do anything. If you can do a football coach organized crime comic and it's so good, what can't you do? So I put together my bizarre it's the ghost of Cleopatra's top assassin trying to rejoin the world of the living, trying to create an identity for herself, which is bizarre enough as it is. But she's also bound by this curse to a demon named Sabanion. So their fates are kind of intertwined, and they can't really exist without the other. So
that's awesome. I want to talk about the story. I don't know, Sam, did you have anything else that?
Oh, go ahead. That's the question.
All right. So your story, right? I'm glad that you said that. So you basically made up the name Sabanion for your story, correct? Yeah. It's not something that exists. So tell us a little bit about the development of this story, other than what you read and you were like, wow, if you can do that, you can. Where did the idea, where the inspiration, are you a big fan of like the Cleopatra in that era, that time? Like, where did it come from? Where did the idea come from?
Yeah, I wanted to have like ancient Egypt for me. I love it, the arts, the history, the mythology. and I wanted to have like a character from that time, but not like the Eternal Warrior. That's been done so many times already,
Right.
you know. So I made her undead. She's a ghost that can't really die. So it's taken her centuries, but now she's just at the cusp, and you know, it's set in modern times. She's just at the cusp of creating this real identity for herself, and finding purpose, and making her dreams come true, so to speak.
Yeah.
But you know, there's Sabanion the demon, and he's kind of a fiery engine of destruction, and he complicates things for her, makes trouble, and is generally a pain in the ass. So
Take me through the creation of say a character like Sabanion, right? Like when you're sitting down and you're thinking about how to put this story together, where does he come from? How does he fit into that story? You know, was it something you saw on TV? Was it something you read? Like, where did he come from?
He's a character again that I played in Mutants and Masterminds, a role playing game. I don't know. He's kind of the monkey wrench in the works. You know, he's a pain in the ass. He's also a wrath demon, right? So his job in the afterlife was to punish murderers. So he's very dangerous. You know, he can make things burst into flame. He can spin and you know, cut things to pieces, and so he's all flame and obsidian and lava and kind of this bizarre thing. So he's kind of, I don't know, I guess it's a bit of maybe Beauty and the Beast, or kind of the yin and the yang kind of thing. Whereas she is, you know, she's very dangerous too. When she was alive, she killed people for Cleopatra. But she was very much into living and dancing and drinking and fighting, and you know, she was a bit of a hedonist, very much like Cleopatra and her court were. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so they're kind of opposites. I like the idea of like interdependent characters kind of stuck together because they have to be,
right,
and trying to make it work. So
now I know you have 5 issues because the Kickstarter that you have going on now is for issues 1 through 5.
Yep.
Is this an ongoing series, or do you have an end in mind? Is it going to end, or are you going to keep going? What are you doing with it?
I'll keep going as long as people keep buying it. Probably issue 6 will tie up the first story arc, and then from there I'll release a trade, you know, or probably like a hardcover, and so yeah. If people keep wanting it, I'll keep selling it. I've got plenty of ideas for more villains, more stories. I'm probably going to bounce back and forth between Spectress and Sabanion and Ruxy Vampire once Spectress and Sabanion 5 is launched and completed. I'll do Ruxy Vampire number 2. So that'll be fun.
Have you hit up any conventions with the book, or has everything been done on Kickstarter? How have you, I guess, marketed the book, or get the awareness of it?
Yeah, I try to do as many shows as I can. This year has been a bit. I've been getting turned down a lot, which is annoying.
Yeah, a lot of shows are filling up fast, man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I've done about 3 shows so far this year, mostly local stuff here in the Chicago area. Weekend after next, I'll be in Des Moines, Iowa for Des Moines Con. Cool. I've got a show. I'm doing some smaller book fairs, and then Capital City Con in Michigan, and what else? Yeah, so, and then Fan Expo Chicago. So I got some pretty big ones.
Nice.
But yeah, I try to hit as many conventions as I can.
Did you go to C2E2, or was that one of the shows that you weren't able to get in?
Yeah, they shot me down for that one. I went though. A few of my artists were there. Mog Park was there. Nice. Okay. She does the interiors for Ruxy, and then she also does covers for Spectress and Sabanion. She does these real beautiful tarot card covers. Nice. So they're really cool. Really a lot of cool detail. And then Chris Enoch was there. He's done a few covers for me. I got to chat with him for a bit. But yeah. No, I was there. It was fun. It was a good show.
It is a good show. Yeah. I made it out there for the first time. I've never been. So I went. Yeah, I kind of just walked the floor, and like you said, it was a really good show just to attend. Like it was a fun show.
Yeah, good
S-
times.
What was your experience from your first show, and what were some of the lessons you learned that you apply on your most recent shows, from presentation to how you engage with the consumer and the comic book fans?
Well, it's funny. You look back. I'll go to some of the smaller shows, and it's funny. You see the guy with the table, and he's got one little book there, sitting there.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey man, don't worry about it, because that was me.
Mhm.
Back in 2017, 2016. And the artist Sajad, he was really nice. He gave me the actual pages from the book, so I could have that for a display. So it's all about pitching, and now I've got a ton of stuff, and it's really cool, and it's fun. I think I've honed my pitching a little bit more. I can kind of tell when I'm losing people. It's not for everybody. It's horror. It's supernatural. It's it's not your superhero in tights kind of story. But I know when to cut it short when I'm losing people, or when I got somebody hooked. But it's fun seeing the guy with the table and the one book, and he's just kind of sitting there feeling silly. But it's all right though. Those people, that's where you start. You gotta just do it. It takes a lot of time. It takes time.
Yeah, especially when the convention isn't going the way you thought it. Yeah, maybe the people there's not that many people coming in or whatever. Just use that time to, like you said, perfect the pitch, or just use it for other things. There's always something to learn at a convention behind a table.
Yeah, like crawl up into a ball under the table and
That's right. I'm crying. Like, why did I do this?
I love seeing the guy there with the. It just reminds me of how you get started. It's funny, but it's where you gotta start. You gotta start somewhere.
How big are your books as far as length? Page count?
Usually, I have a hard time. Something like Ruxy was 38 pages. This one's 36 pages. I need a little help. I working with a new editor. Maybe he's going to help me cut my page count down a little bit, because it gets expensive.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, because before you came on, we were talking about the whole printing thing, right? And like how, I mean, not just the lace, but the cost of printing.
Yeah,
a comic.
It's funny you mentioned Comics Wellspring. I did a show in Michigan, and I think it was Motor City or one of those, but right next to their
warehouse.
Their warehouse. Yeah. I was like, hey, I need you to get this done by this time, so I could just pick them up and go to the show. And they pulled it off, but I submitted like 4 books to CGC, and they all came back like 9.4, 9.
Oh no!
And I was like, wait a minute, I just picked them up, 5 blocks away. It was really disappointing, So I hear you. I go with I don't know. I go with Comic Impressions.
Oh yes, we've heard of Comic Impressions.
Florida, and I have good luck with them.
Yeah. It's always good to have options, man. You know what I mean? Like, to be married to one thing, then you get stuck with no books, and it's like, what am I gonna do now? But good thing. Do you do large print runs, or what's your, like, I guess your strategy when it comes to that kind of stuff for the shows?
Well, now with Spectress and Sabanion, I'm going to try to keep the print runs to a minimum, because I'm coming up on the trade. Only one more issue until the trade, so I kind of keep that low. But for Ruxy #1, I probably honestly didn't print enough. So
that's a nice problem to have, though, Kurt.
Yeah, nice. I think I did a run of like 700, and I probably should have done more.
Yeah. Is Roxy another book that you're kickstarting, or is that something that you're kind of just?
Ruxy, it was on Kickstarter. I've already kickstarted issue #1.
Oh, cool.
And that's like I said, a little lighter, a little racier. It's about the granddaughter of Dracula waking up in Prohibition era Chicago. So
Oh wow,
getting caught up in the whole gangster life and
like that.
Prohibition and that kind of stuff. So, and it's a shared universe, different times, but like a shared universe.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Do you do a lot? I mean, I'm assuming you're doing a lot of research for these for like a story like that, as far as like the Prohibition and what it was like in Chicago back in the 20s. And
Yeah, it's fun. Honestly, you learn things. I love old mob movies too. So, but Al Capone, the Italians against the Irish. The whole South Side North Side thing.
yeah,
And it's funny. It's still Chicago's still kind of messed up. I mean, it's the kind of, what do you want to say, corruption, incompetence.
right.
It's never really gone away from that time.
I mean, but it makes for great stories, right? You put all that stuff into the book, and it's like, it's a great read. It's a great read.
Yeah, definitely. So it's fun, and I say it's more funny and a little sexy, and so yeah.
Nice. When it comes to like your characters, and obviously with Cleopatra she exists, but with the other characters, what do you give your artist? Is it a, hey, listen, I'm thinking of maybe like an actor like this, or what do you give them as far as to create the look of the character? Is that something that you kind of come up with yourself and then you ship it off to them to do it?
Yeah, I've got I put a story Bible together with kind of the character descriptions and their abilities, their powers, that kind of thing. I research. I try to look up, like the classic beautiful Egyptian look, or the the tough guy gangster, and so yeah, I kind of give them. I'll put together some Pinterest pages with some guidance, to kind of work with this, do this, and this. But yeah, I also want to give them, the freedom to do it how they like and what they how they envision it too. So for one of my villains, I just said, the Red Death from the old Edgar Allan Poe story, and they ran with it from there. So
I like that.
Yeah.
So for people who are looking to pick up your book, issues 1 through 5 obviously are right now on Kickstarter, and we are gonna. I think you might have put already the link in the chat. But yeah, no, Spectress and Sabanion, issues number 1 through 5, mystery, suspense, horror. You are looking to raise 7 G's for this thing. You have 12 days to go. I think you picked up a couple of backers here on the show, which is also awesome.
Oh, fantastic! Great.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Yeah, no, this looks great, man. This looks great. When are you thinking of fulfilling? Once it's done, when do you think people will be able to get some of this stuff in their hands?
Well, the coloring is pretty much done. Lettering is done up 75% done. So I'll probably have books to people August, I believe, is my target for delivery. Yeah.
Nice. And you do have a digital catch up in case people want digital copies. There's a $25 digital catch up tier, which is awesome. Yep. And then you also have a printed edition catch up tier as well, right?
Yep. And if you want to get the whole universe, you can get. There's the one that also includes Ruxy Vampire issue number 1 too.
Nice. Yeah. Nice, dude. Yeah, this looks great, man. This looks great. Much luck to you, Kurt. And no, we appreciate you coming on the show, man. Give us that pitch one more time for those watching. What is the story about?
All right, Spectress and Sabanion. It's a supernatural horror thriller about the ghost of Cleopatra's top assassin trying to rejoin the world of living. She wants to create an identity. She wants to live. She wants to find purpose in her life, but she's also bound by an ancient curse to a demon named Sabanion, and he's a burning engine of destruction. So he makes things a little tougher. So it's, I guess, a bit in the vein of Hellblazer, Cullen Bunn kind of stuff, horror, supernatural, gods, demons, vampires, that kind of thing, ghosts.
There you go.
Awesome.
There you go, man. There you go.
Awesome. Well, thank you, buddy, for being on the show. Links in the chat, guys. Check it out, and you're welcome back anytime.
Well, hey, thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate you having me on.
You
Hell
got it,
yeah,
buddy.
man. Thanks, Kurt. Take care, bud.
Peace.
Take care. Thanks again.
Later. Peace.
All right.
Kurt Zauer. Nice, man.
Yeah, man. Who doesn't like Supernatural?
Yeah, why not, dude? I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, the book is good. And thanks to whoever out there pledged to the campaign and, helping him out. It's got 12 days to go. And, he's raising money to get issues 1 through 5 out there. And again, trade, right? After 6 issues, usually that's when the trades come. And,
Yeah.
it's the way to do it, dude. It's the way to do it.
Mm-hmm. It is the way to do it. It's funny when you mentioned about the guy with the single comic at the table. I see
Yeah.
that at every convention.
Yeah.
At every convention. It reminds me because I looked at I was looking at flashbacks of our early days.
Yeah.
Even our first table setup. It wasn't, we were pretty moderate and it built over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
because you don't know what you don't know, right? Like you just go out there, you're like, let's give this thing a try and see what happens.
Yeah.
It's interesting sitting there behind that table, with your first book, not knowing if anybody's going to want it. And then you get that first person who buys it, right? That person who picks up the book, who you feel like, damn, this person believes in me, And big shout out to Gilbert Rodriguez, who's in the chat, who was one of the guys, one of the first people to buy the books, man. He really
at Big Apple.
Yeah, at Big Apple.
Big Apple. Wow.
Yeah. So big shout out to him because he's been a day one guy. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I remember when I brought Russ out again years later. This was now at the New York Comic Con. Oh yeah, got to start somewhere somehow for sure.
Yeah.
And he came back. He came to the table and said, "Hey man, I got the original issues." Like he had the original freaking books, and it was like, wow, you still have those things?
Yeah.
It was one of those things where you're like, geez, man, that's freaking amazing, dude. And honestly, when you go to a show, you don't realize what you're doing for that creator when you buy that book for them.
You don't.
You think this guy, all right, yeah, he just man. It means a lot for an indie to have somebody come over to their table and actually pick up the book and give them money for that book and say, hey, I want that book.
The only thing, because I'm not going to do Central Texas Comic Con next year, but what I think the disheartening thing is that there were 5 people that came to the convention this year just to come back and get follow-up issues of Duty. There was a father with his kid. He says, I'm only here because I saw that you're going to be here and I needed to get the graphic novel.
Yeah.
Boom. Right. And he says, I got number 1 last time and I needed to get the right. So I was like, wow. So it's those things that's like, because even though I had a horrible event, it was those people that came back that made it all worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I took an L, but that you can't put a price on that because for me, even the drive back wasn't miserable. It was, and then I got to hang out with friends and, so it was dope, but it's I think people don't understand or how important it is. How important it is when someone appreciates the work that you put into something.
Yeah. It's true, man.
Because it's a sign of validation. Because you already have head junk, you already have doubts, you already have insecurities, right? And then when they come and they say, "I really love this character, I really love what you do," that in itself is like, wow.
Yeah.
It was the full one, huh? Oh, Forbidden. Oh no, Forbidden's done. I'm just gotta produce it in full color graphic novel. I haven't gotten there yet. And the Crazies will come back one day. We're gonna finish issue 4. It'll probably be me finishing it, but we're gonna finish issue 4. I won't be using the third-party artist this next time. There's a look that I want to capture, and I'm the only one who can capture it.
The guy who designed the characters, dude, like he had
that look down pat.
He had,
but he just can't do sequentials.
But sequential art, and that just goes to show you how hard sequential art is to do. Because his work is crazy. But sit him down with a script, and he's like, I don't know. No, I can't.
He's a splash page artist.
Yeah.
He'll do children's books because it's single pages, but he can't do comic sequentials. It gives him anxiety.
And then what happens is you have these characters that are designed, and then the artist who picks it up to do it can't draw it the way he did it. So now it's like, damn,
Yeah.
But it's tough.
It
ain't easy out there. It ain't easy. But
it ain't easy being cheesy.
No, for sure. Mike, well, what number book are you up to, man? Big shout out to Michael with Technigods. Technigods. Where we
Yeah.
at? Where we at with that book?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this has been great. We're back. Are we back next week? What are we doing next week, Sam? You let me know.
Yes,
I
we're
don't
back
know what's
next week.
going on.
Next week we have on the show, let's see, Calendly. Next week we have my account. What do we have on next week? We have Daniel Doan. Duan or Doan. And Daniel, I see that you booked yourself on the show, but you gave no information about yourself. Thank you so much. So I don't know what he does. I don't know what Daniel does. He left his Instagram link.
Okay. That's a
So
start.
so I don't know if you me go to his Instagram link on.
Well, you find that Michael says working on issue number 5, and Kurt says thanks again, guys. Hey, you're welcome, Kurt. Thank you for coming on, my friend. Awesome stuff. Awesome
So
stuff.
Daniel looks like. Oh, it might be. I think we might have had him on the show. I think he's a jewelry designer.
Okay, cool. Oh, all right.
I think so. I don't know, but this one looks like a jewelry designer. Expressions of Self
Awesome.
is the name of the business, and the designs jewelry. So that's going to be nice, interesting. That's a twist. So we'll have a. Thanks, buddy. Yeah. So
I'm ready to rip them a new one. They're like, oh, wait a minute, it's jewelry.
there's no photos of him. It's just a big display of markets of the jewelry, and I'll put the link in the chat. So this way you guys can see next week's guest, and then we'll have some hot topics next week as well. And I'll do a recap of Comic Palooza. So hopefully all goes well at Comic Palooza. And so I'll be vlogging that as well. The whole journey to Comic Palooza, to and from. And it's gonna be a long drive. And as long as there's a Buc-ee's on the road, I'm there. Yo, Buc-ee's, sponsor me, bro. What's up?
Oh, I thought you said they sponsored. I was like, word?
Yeah, man.
You didn't miss anything.
You missed
At
everything.
least, ooh, I love jewelry. Yeah.
I know, right? But yeah. So we got that next week, and let's see, the week after we have on June 4th, we got Sarah Cook.
We're going 2 weeks in a row. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Sarah, big shout out to Sarah Cook. She's been trying to, we're trying to coordinate about getting on my show on Get Your Meds to talk about writing, but I haven't had a chance to do so. I have a bunch of lettering gigs that I have to get to. Sam, we got to get your lettering done too. So it's been a little difficult getting all that stuff out there, but we'll be back soon. Actually, he missed the bombs. He did miss the bombs.
Hugo, you dropped the bomb on me.
Check out the replay. Check out the
replay. You missed it, bro. Sam had an out-of-body experience.
Yes.
Sam went.
Social media's gonna blow up Sam.
Sam's like, yo.
Oh, Lou, I got minor surgery this week. I'll survive. You will survive. You're gonna do just fine. You're gonna do just fine.
Yes. Duty and I are crossing our fingers for you.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So,
Sammy. So let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. Let's start with you. You got your book signing. Tell them about your book signing.
Book signing June 12th from 6 to 8 p.m. here in the hometown. YO, Yonkers, Ridge Hill location is the Collector's Cave. Big shout out to Steve, the owner of the store, who is allowing me to come in there and do a book signing on the 25th. That's Comic Book Day, Wednesday, June 12th, the 25th. And I'll also be at Plastic City Comic Con Saturday, July 20th. Big shout out to Keith Gleason. I will have my books on the table, the new Rust book that is out, and this one right here. Big shout out to everybody who's picked up a copy already. And word on the Adventures of Wonder Duck Part 2. It is being worked on, and I should have that to you guys by the end of the year. So I'm looking forward to getting that out to you guys. Good luck, Louis, right? Keep positive vibes. Hell yeah. So that's what's going on, and then I'll be out in San Antonio hanging out with your ass.
That's right.
June what is it, 20th to the 23rd, right?
It's 4 days. It's really like 6 days for me. It's 4 days. It's a long weekend. San Antonio for Superhero Comic Con. But if you haven't checked it out, go to my art channel, Art Samuel, and check out the latest vlog, Surviving a Tornado, a Comic Con, a book signing, and lots of rain. What's up with that? Check that out. And if you're in Houston, come down and see me. I'll be at Comic Palooza, booth number 2738. I'll be next to Marco, who is the artist for Lori Cacatara's book. And then after that, I'll be with George and the crew. the Crazy Crew over at Superhero Comic Con. And then after that, I'll be at Texas Latino Comic Con, and then College Station Comic Con, and then Denton Comic Art Exhibition, and then I'll be at Cowtown. And then don't forget, Duty is a comic strip by a kid in a comic. Get yourself. I actually submitted the 7th issue for the year, and so that's going to publication. And you can go to a kid in a comic and request it for your local store.
That's right.
So yeah, lots going on.
Thank
you, Lou.
Yeah, no doubt. And but you're the patient this time, Lou. Yeah, and don't forget, also Get Your Meds on YouTube. Check out the channel. I did an unboxing of Russ 5377 on the channel, so check it out. Go to getyourmeds.com and you'll see the link to the YouTube channel as well. But yeah, Sam, this has been fun.
It's been fun. Yeah, until next week.
You,
and thank you everybody who's been watching the show. And if you if you like this episode and more, subscribe, hit that share button, tell a friend. And if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Pandora, head over to YouTube and subscribe or leave us a thumbs up in a comment. Let the algorithms work in our favor. When we grow, the indie community grows. With that said, I'm Sam the Crazy Man Vera,
George the Dreamer Medina,
and we are out. No, it's about my friend Aneksi. Say my name, right?
This is what you were thinking? Oh,
he described me. He said, I'm the
Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. To Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze. Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.